Hey guys, it's me, Chromatica, and today we are back with another video. So today is gonna be the start of the tops of the year. So without further ado, I'm super excited to get into the top 10 albums of 2020. Just say this year has brought actually a lot of good music. I was very surprised that this year brought a lot of good music. Considering the situation of the world, it brought actually a lot of good music, and I'm super happy that I did. In fact, not even just good music, just actual incredible life-changing music in the end. I just want to say that I'm thankful for everyone that worked their asses off by themselves. They didn't have a producer, or they couldn't meet with their producers, like in person. So it's just super incredible. Before we start though, I just want to say that these are my opinions, and I am no expert music reviewer, music ranker. Don't come for me for my opinion. These are my opinions. These albums were incredible music in my mind. They really processed well in my mind, and they also are going to remind me of this year when I look back at this year, you know. And they're also incredible songs to me, and they really mean something to me. They really resonate to me. So please, my opinions don't come from. Anyways, let's go into the top 10 albums of. At number 10, we have Ungodly Hour by Chloe X Haley. This album was incredible. I was not prepared for how good this album and how impactful it would be. I wasn't. It brought a lot of good music, like Do It, Wonder What She Thinks of Me, Royal is another awesome one, or Don't Make It Harder on Me. The whole album, Dreamcatcher, it's just, there was so many good songs, and the way their production was so powerful and so strong and so had that oomph factor to it. It was just incredible. I'm really impressed about these girls. I'm super happy that I got to listen to them and I discovered them this year. And I want to thank my reaction queens for that. I'm super happy that they made this list because they have one of the most enjoyable albums I listened to this year for sure. At number 9, we have Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus. This, hands down, I think is one of Miley's best projects. I haven't listened to her other projects fully, but definitely is her best project from like what people are saying. Every single song, I was not bored throughout this whole album. Listening to this album, there were songs that weren't my favorite, of course, but throughout the whole album, I was not bored. I enjoyed every single song, and I was surprised because this album is rock. This album is not pop or just songs that you'd hear on radio today, but they're actual rock songs. But they're mixed into what Miley knows to be pop as well. Miley's vocals on this whole album are incredible. Her voice is so versatile, and it can literally sing anything. It feels like a project that Miley was supposed to make, you know? So I'm super happy that she did this, and there are some incredible songs. The album starts off so strong with What the Fuck Do I From then the end, reflecting about, you know, the presidency and, you know, societal standards and all this shit in Golden G-String. Just incredible album, incredible project. Some incredible hitters like High, Never Be Me, Golden G-String, Plastic Hearts, the title track, Midnight Sky, Prison Crawler. Literally just so incredible hitters on this album that I'm super happy that Miley was able to make this album. At number 8, we have Kid Crow by Conan Gray. This album, I was going into this album, when I read to the album, I was going into it like, okay, a new artist, really recommended because, you know, there are other artists that I listen to, and he's always at the bottom of the similar artists. I feel like I'm gonna like him. Little did I know, I was going to literally have a mental breakdown during that whole album. The first song, we started with Comfort Crowd, and that song hit. That song was an immediate boom, like smack to my face, like out. And then all of a sudden we go into Maniac, we go into Wish You Were Sober, we go into Affluenza, we go into all the other songs on the album that are just incredible. Little League, and then the story is incredible too. But then the main one, Heather. We got Heather on this album, and Heather made me break down so bad I couldn't focus, I couldn't maintain myself throughout the whole album because of Heather. I really am so happy Conan made this album, because this album was definitely a staple. It definitely was a staple for this year. Really impacted me. I did not think it was going to impact me that much, but it did. And lyrically awesome, very straightforward, but just very real and very true and really relatable. But also, its production so interesting, but yet so, and it hit. Conan really acted it himself on his first project, and I'm super excited to see what his next project's going. 7 on the list is Positions by Ariana Grande. This album is not her best work. It's not. Let's be real here. Thank You Next will always be her best work. But I can say that this album was definitely one of the culture races we had this year, for sure. Which started off with Shut Up. Shut Up didn't hit at first, but now it's one of my favorite songs of the album now, actually. I play it almost every single day. And then we go to 34, 35, Safety Net, Off the Table, Positions, we go My Hair, Nasty, POV, Body Language, just incredible hitters that will remind me of this year for sure. This album definitely remind me of a time period, and for sure this reminds me of a time period. And I'm super happy that I got to react to this and I got to enjoy it with y'all. It feels personal yet fun, and it's something I feel like Ariana wanted to make because it is tapping into her R&B soul voice, which she was already destined to make songs with. Let's be real here. She was destined to make R&B type of songs, and that's why I love My Hair, because of My Hair. Super happy that we got to experience this. So, number 6 on the list is Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. This album, I knew was going to be one of the tops, and it stayed true to be one of the tops. This album was for sure one of the best works. This was going to no matter what. I feel like I think we all knew that this album was going to be one of the best this year. But it's always out there stuff. Dua Lipa is just so good at what she does. You have Don't Start Now on the album. You have Physical. You have Levitating. Break My Heart with the violin piece. You have Hallucinate. It's just there's so many good songs on the album, and the album was so good and so needed at the time it was released. It really was. We were all at home at that point, and I feel like this album came out at the perfect time, and I feel like it's same with Positions too, but it really also popped onto the trend of the future of like the 80s type of sound we're going into with music. She did what she had to do, made some bops. It reminds me of a time period that I listened to these songs too. Album number 5, which is not an album, but it's an EP, After School EP by Melanie Martinez. This EP was really good. I enjoyed it. It's not Melanie's best work, I will admit. It is not her best work, but this EP had so many bangers and so many awesome, I think the lyrics were the most important part of this album. And then there's songs like The Bakery that are played to this day. The Bakery, Glued, Test Me, Notebook, Field Trip. I love how that small yet so impactful this EP had this year, and I'm super happy that she released it and she was able to get it out. To the concert, she performed these songs really well, and I'm so happy that I went to the concert, but I hope that in the next album is going to be special and very, very boom, in your face. Now on number 4, we have No Pressure by Logic. This album was incredible. I think it's one of Logic's best projects, if not his best project. This album, he really did himself. I'm wearing the shirt right now, for God's sake, look. But really enjoyed this album so much. He ended off his story. He ended off a story that he's been building up this whole time. He ended the incredible true story. He ended off all the things that he needed to end off. He also talked about things that he wasn't able to have. He talked about, being in a dark place. He talked about being a dad. He's now a dad, which is crazy. He also did amazing production, like Hit My Line is beautiful. Amen ended off the album incredibly. So every single song on this album was really meaningful, and I didn't get bored once this album. A really fun album, a really incredible project, and I'm wishing Bobby the best on his retirement and being a dad, and I hope that the rest of his life is full of happiness. Now we're on the top 3 of this year, so let's get into this. On number 3, we have Chromatica by Lady Gaga. This album came at a time when we needed it. Like the other albums. The album came at a time when it needed to come. Start off with Chromatica 1, this beautiful violin string piece. I love violins in this. And then all of a sudden you go into Alice. Beautiful transitions. And then you tell a story from Stupid Love on Our Free Woman, Rain on Me, and then Chromatica 2, which is another string piece. And then you go into the deeper tracks like 911, and then you go into 1,000 Doves, Sign from Above, and then Babylon. Those hitters. And this album never missed. This album, we needed a pop album. It's been years since Joanne came out. And then the Star Is Born album. I haven't listened to that yet, but should I get into that either way? But let me know. But album really was powerful pop, and it needed to come out. And lyrically too, there were so many songs lyrically that I just felt like 911. Alice, On Me was so good. Ariana Grande slayed that collab. Babylon is also really good. Every single song had a moment to shine with this album. Number 2 on the list is After Hours by The Weeknd. This album, I think, is The Weeknd outdid himself. The Weeknd really did that with this album. This was The Weeknd's year. Every single song has had a moment to be listened to. The one song I have listened to in a minute is Snow Child and Escape from LA. But besides that, every single song on this album has had a moment to shine, be one of my favorites. It has. From like Blinding Lights being trendy on TikTok, it's just so many memories and so many powerful things about this album are just so... The album was just beautifully made. It sounds rich. He really did it with this album. The production's amazing. His voice is amazing. His melodies and the lyricism is incredible. And he really did it with this one. This is it. It definitely was, and it deserves to be at number 2 for a reason. And the reason it's not number 1 is for the number 1 album, which I think y'all know right now. But I am going to now go into the honorable mentions. These are albums that I could have put into this top 10, but it didn't fit. It didn't feel right to put it in. And but I feel like they still deserve to be said and mentioned. So we have Opening Night, John Lennon. These Two Windows by Alec Benjamin. Love Goes by Sam Smith. The End of Everything by Noah Cyrus, Bad Karma by Gabby Hanna, and Treat Myself by Meghan Trainor. Those are the honorable mentions. These are albums that really impacted my year, but they didn't make the top 10, but they were definitely the next 16. So if this is the top 16, they would have made it on this list. I just wanted to mention them and just put it out there and say about these projects. Now, for biggest one, album of the year. I think everyone knows where we're going, but let's... Folklore / Evermore by Taylor Swift. I couldn't do it. I couldn't separate Folklore and Evermore. I just felt like I was doing Evermore dirty because I knew Folklore was going to take album of the year, but I feel like Evermore's a continuation and we needed to be together. Well, Evermore / Folklore by Taylor Swift has made albums of the year. And I have to say, Taylor found her element. Taylor found it after years, I feel like, of people trying to put her down and doing all this shit. She's gone through hell. She's gone through a lot of fucking shit that she shouldn't have gone through, if we're being real here. She didn't deserve. She did. And she was able to come back from that. Also, after Reputation, after Lover, people were not sure how she was going to beat Lover and Reputation. But she did. She managed to beat the Reputation. Because Reputation, I think, was one of her best albums, honestly, before. And before was 1999 Reputation. Those were her 2 best albums. Taylor's best 2 albums have finally come out this year in the span of 5 months from each other. 5 months. The only other person who's done that in the recent time era is Ariana Grande. And yes, she's made it on the list too. This album is lyrically a masterpiece. Lyrically, one of the most incredible lyrical works I have seen this year. It's the most lyrical album I've heard this year. It's just the best album I've heard this year. Simple. Without no doubt. You really start off the Folklore with the one, and then you go through the whole album. You go through many storylines, and this is not Taylor's world. This is other people's stories that she made up in her head, or also inspiration she got. She's able to include many different sounds of the last great American dynasty. That includes a story about how the person that she bought her house from. But also, the story about the love trio between Augustine, Betty, and James. This love triangle situation that happened that's incredibly lyrically written, but yet so discreet that we had to figure out on our own. And then we go into the Invisible String, Hoax, Peace, My Tears Ricochet, and Exile, which is also about her. It could be applied about the love triangle, or it could be applied about her record label. Just incredible hitters. Not one song missed on this album. Maybe there were songs I don't like, and none of these songs missed. And then we thought she was done, but no, she put The Lakes out, and The Lakes slowly became one of my favorite songs off the album too. It was a bonus track, but it came out and boom, it just captivated me, and I fell in love with it, and it was on my playlist for a really long time. And now every time I think about The Lakes, I think about a time period of my life too. But then she did the unbelievable, and she released another 15-song album titled Evermore. And this album outdid so much too. This album was able to go and sit right next to her sister, Folklore. And this album has Willow. She was able to go to a higher vocal register, and Cardi, she was able to go to a lower vocal register. She was able to experiment, hit different notes and different type of sounds that she wasn't able to do before. Gold Rush, beautiful production. Are you kidding? Gold Rush, I think, is one of her best songs. Really, you feel like you're taking off on an airplane when you first hear like the gleaming, dreaming eyes like sinking. So beautiful. And then you go into like you hear songs like Evermore. Evermore's title track featuring Bon Iver. In Exile with Bon Iver. It's just incredible songs. You hear Marjorie, 'Tis a Damn Season, Champagne Problems. Oh my god, Champagne Problems. Even though I believe that Folklore is better than Evermore, they are on the same for sure. And they deserve to be next to each other on albums of the year. So for the first time, for my first album of the year, of course I have to do 2 albums of the year because they deserve to be next to each other. And I couldn't bear to separate them. And as you can tell, each artist has one like project on there technically, but I didn't want her to have like take up 2 rankings because then that'd be really unfair to another artist that would deserve a rank. That ends my albums of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's been an incredible year. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining my journey and for being here, supporting me, watching my reactions. Some watched it all the way, which I don't know how. Like, thank you. Thank you so much, and I hope you really get something out of my reactions, whether you only watch your favorite song, maybe one side of the video, or you watched the whole way through. I really hope that I am able to, you know, a little bit better. Even if I don't make you smile, I hope that you feel like under this reaction, feeling a little bit better and a little bit relaxed and just a little bit, you know, settled down. Or I think maybe did it better. As long as you guys supported me somehow, in some way, shape, or form, I truly want to thank you for making this year the way it was. I did not have 207 subscribers last year at this time. I only had like 56, 57 subscribers from me not uploading consistently, but I'm so happy that you guys love my content and I sincerely enjoy doing this. So thank you so much for watching. And if you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video, which is going to be the last video of 2020. Going to be the top songs of the year. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.